Welcome to the Dome Discussions Podcast. Your top source for all things New Orleans Saints. Powered by four voices who live and breathe black and gold.
Touchdown.
Every hit. Every play.
Welcome to the NFL.
Every moment. We've got it covered.
Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome to the New Orleans Saints War Room of the 2026 Epic Mock. We are going to be live on YouTube and hopefully Twitter. Right now, there's a little bit of an issue with that. But we are the War Room, the Dome Discussions. I'm Drew Collins, part of the Be in the Know Network. We'll be here throughout most of the day today and a lot of tomorrow and the next day for rounds 2 through 7. So stay with us then. And as we get ready for the Saints to pick, we are currently at pick 3, where there's a trade coming in right now. First overall pick for the Raiders, Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana. No shock right there. I mean, that's what everyone expected. Then at pick number 2, the Jets selected David Bailey. That one is more of a surprise, but it's really not. That's kind of what we've been expecting. That is what everyone's thought of. So that's not bad, but for the Saints, it's honestly very good news. David Bailey, no one will deny his pass rushing upside. But the big thing with him is I think he has effort issues. Or not effort issues, but off the field issues. And I also don't trust his run defense. Strength on the point of attack is lackluster. So I'm happy he's off the clock or off the board right now. It's just an option that the Saints don't have to do and one that I hope to avoid on draft day. Give me 1 second while I post this on Twitter to try to get some people on here. One second, we're almost there. Just 1 second, just getting it copy pasted, then we will be good. Okay, so that is posted. Right now, I am looking for the trade details. So if you just missed it, first overall pick, Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana. Second overall pick, the New York Jets selected David Bailey, the edge rusher from Texas Tech. And we just had a trade, third overall. The New York Giants traded up and selected Sonny Styles. Now, if you've been with us, you know Sonny Styles is my favorite player in this draft. I am about as high as you could possibly be on him, and I think he's a future All-Pro. He's got the athleticism, he's got the quickness, he's got the instincts, he's got the mental, he's got everything you could want in a linebacker. But the Giants go trade up and select him there. So he will be off the board. I'm seeing if I can look at the trade details when they're coming in, as well as we'll be feeding the Titans. I know are talking to us right now. But thinking of trading up at 4 as a possibility, not with Styles off the board. But yeah, now it kind of shifts for the Saints. I mean, there's going to be options available at 8. Not everyone can be gone. There's been rumors of a wide receiver, a defensive lineman, David Bailey, Ruben Bain, all of that. Someone is going to be there. So if I'm the Saints, I'm not trading up. I'm being patient, waiting for someone, and just not worrying about it. Trying to get this live on Twitter right now. We'll see if we can do that. A lot of housekeeping right now. For some reason, not quite working on going up. So I am awaiting the trade details still. We'll see if we can find this. There has been one trade already earlier. This one is not the third overall trade, but the Titans traded Will Levis and pick 225 to the Jets for pick 179, which is a fifth round pick. So not a super blockbuster trade there. Honestly, can't tell you who wins that one, but still an interesting thing nonetheless. So now I'm still awaiting the trade details, but that's a big trade. I mean, going up to get Sonny Styles, it is very rare that you ever see a linebacker go within the top 3, barring even them someone trading up for the top 3. So that is a very interesting move by the Giants. I absolutely love the addition of Sonny Styles. I think he's undoubtedly the best player in the class. It's depending on the price, it is very steep. The Giants didn't have to trade up far. They only went from 5 to 3, so the Cardinals traded back a little bit. But that is still telling them there were teams trying to go up and get them. So right now we are waiting for the 4th overall pick and still for the trade details. Follow NFL Draft Fanatic. If you don't know what this is a 32-person mock draft. There are 32 podcasts, one podcast for every team that will be live for today, tomorrow, the next day, going over a full 7-round mock draft. So this is very interactive. We're not going against a computer. We're going against other people. So, for instance, the Giants owner Buzz, he really likes Sonny Styles. I've worked with him before. Went up and went and got him. So this is meant to be a much more predictive, and so you know what fans of the teams and what followers of the teams will actually do. Right now we're still trying to see, but if I'm the Saints, you're paying very close attention. I think you want to go defense here. Sonny Styles, Ruben Bain, Caleb Downs are your top 3 options in my eyes. Yeah, I guess Arvil Reese as well. I don't think he'll fall, but he's worth mentioning. That's where you want to go. But they're in a good enough position where that's not where they have to go. The Saints are fully capable of going receiver, going running back, going something elsewise, even Kenyon Sadiq if they need. I'm not going to, but they could. So they're in a good spot to evaluate, sit down, and just see what options are available at pick 8. Right now, there's also a trade down that I've been considering. I'm not going to leak what that is yet, but there's a chance that we do that. So pick 4 just came in. The Tennessee Titans just selected Jeremiah Love, the running back out of Notre Dame. Jeremiah Love, that's not a pick I'm surprised by. He's an absolutely outstanding prospect, one that many Saints fans had their eye on for a pretty good amount of time now. He is really the full package. He's got outstanding speed and quickness. He's got a very good short area quickness. He's patient, has great vision. He can make people miss in space. He's got amazing hands. He can kind of be seen as a satellite back from the backfield. He's a reliable blocker, have a ton of wear and tear because he completely split backfield carries with Jadarian Price. He's got amazing footwork. I mean, you just watch him do drills, and it's just staggering with how he does. So the Titans selecting him, you're just continuing elevating that offense. You don't want to leave Cam Ward stranded, and they are not. So now in the offense, you got Cam Ward, you have Jeremiah Love, Alec Manor, you have Calvin Ridley still, Chimere DK. You've got a pretty good group there that you should feel very excited about. So Titans are building some over there. 5th overall pick now, Cardinals on the clock. If you haven't seen for the rest of it, 1st overall pick, Fernando Mendoza. 2nd overall pick to the Jets, David Bailey. 3rd overall pick, the Giants traded up with the Cardinals to select Sonny Styles, the linebacker out of Ohio State. Jeremiah Love went off the board 4th overall, and then now the Cardinals are on the clock. Still can't find the exact details of the trade that the Giants went up, but I think it's very telling with how much they like Sonny Styles, me included, that even I was really hoping he'd fall there. Not likely. But there are 3 picks until the Saints are up. We got the Cardinals, the Browns, and the Commanders. Ruben Bain still on the board. Caleb Downs still on the board. And you have all of the wide receivers you could possibly want still on board. So the Saints are in a very enticing kind of spot right now. They are in no rush to trade up. They can kind of let the board sit, see who falls to them. I'll kind of go over some of the top prospects while we keep waiting on some of the other picks. But Caleb Downs, I think is undoubtedly one of the top options. Him and Ruben Bain are going back and forth in my mind right now. Caleb Downs, you lost Alontae Taylor. The safety play has been subpar ever since Tyrann Mathieu left. So you need someone to replace both those. And Caleb Downs can do just that. He's got elite IQ. He's never not the smartest player on the football field. It takes a special player to start on Nick Saban's defense as a freshman. A very limited group has done that, one of them being Caleb Downs. He flies downhill to defend the run. He's incredibly versatile. He can play everywhere on the field. He had snaps at safety, free safety, box safety, linebacker, outside cornerback, slot cornerback, defensive line. He can play anywhere on the field and will be a chess piece for the Saints defense or whatever team he's on. He's always moving, surveying the quarterback size, sticking coverage, fluid athlete, great tackler. He's really the entire package except being sub 6 foot. That's around the only mistake with him or possible negative around him. We just had the 5th overall pick. Arizona Cardinals select Ruben Bain Jr. So I would say this last 3 picks haven't been great for the Saints. Ruben Bain Jr. is, I know Caleb will get on here. He texted me, grab Ruben Bain before this. Sorry, can't do that. But Ruben Bain is just pure dominance. There's a certain point. Yes, the arm length can be scary, but you just can't worry about it. It is rare that you find a person with that much impact who can dominate against the run, produce against the pass. He's got a villain mentality. I don't know if anyone in the chat has seen The Dark Knight Rises, but that's what it reminds me of. He's got the Bane from Dark Knight Rises mentality where he doesn't just want to win. He wants to utterly embarrass and destroy the competition. He isn't just looking to win or to take down the quarterback. He's looking to take down the quarterback, look back at the offensive lineman, and start absolutely trash talking, saying how he beat him, doing all that. He is the exact type of player that you want to build a defense around. He's the player that you build a defensive culture around. So, I mean, that's a fabulous pick for the Cardinals. They've really invested in their defensive line recently. They had Walter Nolan last draft, Darius Robinson in the first round a couple drafts ago. They all have kind of struggled with injury, even Ruben Bain included in that. 2024, he suffered with an ankle injury that took him out, or didn't take him out, but made him a lot less impactful for a majority of the event. So now it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him and the Cardinals if he can stay healthy. 6th overall, Cleveland Browns took Carnell Tate. I know the Jets owner, Steve, is going to be upset about that one. Carnell Tate is one of his guys, and he would have been a great fit in the Saints offense. I heard that Carnell Tate was being compared to Chris Olave as a player comp. I don't exactly see that, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Tate would be a fantastic fit on the Saints offense. He complements Olave well. Tate, he's got better speed than what he put up in the 40-yard dash. He, I believe, clocked a 4.59. That's not where I'd put him at. He's got really good vertical speed, and he threatens defenders deep. He's got reliable hands, no drops this year. Can go up in contested catch situations. He's a smart, nuanced route runner. There is a lot to like about this game. He knows how to find soft spots in zone and do all that. So now Caleb Downs then just went off the board as well. This is about the worst case scenario, I'd say, for the Saints right now. So you have Carnell Tate off the board, Caleb Downs off the board, Ruben Bain off the board, Sonny Styles off the board. This is not what you want if you are the Saints right now. It's just a lot of your primary options off the board. Francis Mauigoa or a tackle still not being picked is genuinely shocking this high that he hasn't been picked. But now the Saints are in kind of a precarious situation. But I think the move is pretty clear. I'm going to see if anyone wants to trade up. But it's going to be hard to not pick Arvil Reese Jr. here. Someone that really hasn't historically fallen to the Saints, but he's right there in your lap. The main question about him is, do you view him as more of an edge or a linebacker? For me, I have him graded as a linebacker, but I can 100% see him rushing the edge. He would be a versatile chess piece in Brandon Staley's defense, and one that the Saints would be lucky to have. He'd be a highly impactful player. Saints need help at linebacker. They need help at edge. Why not address 2 birds with 1 stone with the absolute freak athlete of Arvil Reese? I'm just checking the board right now to see if there's anyone else. You know, my Denzel Boston love. I won't pick him. A wide receiver here is interesting as well. So it's whether you want to stick defense or you want to go at a wide receiver. And I just don't think there is another option here. Talking with the Dolphins, feeling a few trade calls right now. Bobby Finstock at the Dolphins messaging me, but it's going to be pretty hard. It's going to be hard not to take Arvil Reese here, the versatile linebacker. He's someone I don't think he's been mocked to the Saints a single time. He hasn't been. It's been something that hasn't been talked about. We have a couple minutes here for the clock, about 6 minutes left. We're going to wait to see what Bobby would say here. But Kevin Benier, Fernando Mendoza, David Bailey, Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love, Ruben Bain, Cardinal Tate, Caleb Downs. So we're just waiting to see what the offer will be, see if it's going to be worth doing. The other options right now, you have the wide receivers at the top. You have Jordan Tyson, who hosted a private workout today. You have Mekhi Lemon, the versatile slot receiver. And then Cardinal Tate's off the board. I'm going to throw in Denzel Boston. No one else would, but Denzel Boston is my guy. He's not going to be the pick here. But so yeah, Denzel Boston could be. But unless I get an offer here in the last minute, unless I get an offer here at the last moment, it's gonna be tough to pass up on Caleb Downs or on Arvil Reese. Correction. So we'll see. We have a quick chat right now going on, seeing if we will trade him. Francis Mauigoa is still on the board as well. I think I'd be crucified by Saints fans or by any fans if I select Francis Mauigoa, the tackle out of Miami. But it's still worth a conversation because I think he's going to be an all-pro guard. But still here, I think the selection and where I'm going is Arvil Reese, the linebacker / edge out of Ohio State. It's something you don't see very often. It's something rare. The Saints I've never seen the Saints or Arvil Reese fall. But this is what happens when a tackle doesn't go off the board. When a lot of your guys get sniped, you play the cards that are dealt. And that's exactly what the Saints did here. You have, unfortunately, Sonny Styles, Ruben Bain, Cardinal Tate, Caleb Downs all off the board. But Francis Mauigoa, Arvil Reese both falling is a very good sign for them and is a very intriguing spot for the Saints to be. I love the fit in Arvil Reese. I'm going to dive into him in just a little bit after the pick is officially announced. But, I mean, that is just a fully spectacular pick that I'm going to be bullish on. I did not expect that. I mentioned him at the start of the podcast, kind of just saying his name because he's worth it. But I did not actually think he would fall on the board right now. But if you want to go check out others' reactions, NFL Draft Fanatic, Draft Professor on Twitter, live streaming right now. I'd be interested to hear his reaction to Arvil Reese fall into the Saints' lap. But yeah, let me message the chat quick. So let's dive into Arvil Reese a little bit right now while we wait for the others. I don't think we'll trade back up into the second later in the first round. We'll see. We're obviously not going to rule off all of our options right now. If there's a guy we really like that falls, we can always do that. But right now, so Arvil Reese, he's a junior out of Ohio State. He's versatile. He can play linebacker one snap, and the next snap he's lining up right at the edge where he can get after the quarterback. He flew onto the national radar this year. He wasn't even viewed as probably a top 100 prospect heading into the season, but as an Ohio State prospect always does, flew on the board with his utterly amazing athleticism and testing. He's an outstanding pass rusher. He just doesn't have that many snaps yet. That's the sole reason I have him graded as a linebacker instead of being an edge right now, is because you just haven't seen him yet. You haven't seen him play over 50 times at an edge or in a game. You haven't seen him consistently rush the passer. So that's going to be one thing that in training camp, preseason, and his rookie year, the Saints are going to have to figure out is, do we like Arvil Reese at an edge or do we like him at linebacker? I think in training camp, you're going to see both. Brandon Staley is obviously going to have his thoughts, going to have his preference, but he's going to be tried out at both. He's an outstanding athlete. He's an elite explosiveness. His combine testing was spectacular. But it just kind of went. It was outshined by Sonny Styles, who just is a freak of nature. But Arvo, he's enters contact with violent intentions. He doesn't just want to beat an opposing lineman. He wants to put them flat on the ground. Look back at the Illinois tape. While rushing the passer, Illinois, who's got some good tackles, J.C. Davis is a beast. They have a good offensive line. But Arvo Reese was playing straight bully ball. Think of Dennis Rodman going up on the Bad Boy Pistons. He's trying to bully someone in the paint. He's trying to get them out of the game, and it's a fun sight to behold. He's relentless. He plays through the whistle, can shut down the running back and wide receiver, slot receivers, and tight ends in coverage. He's a very fluid athlete. Can cover in man. He's instinctual in zone. He plays his zone well. Can completely shut down an area. He's an elite quarterback spy. If the Saints are going up against the Ravens, if they're going up against a rushing quarterback that is kind of slicing them, which they have struggled with in recent years, I mean, there's no way Mac Jones and the 49ers should be rushing for good yards in the Saints. But Arvo Reese will completely eliminate that threat. He is going to shut down the quarterback run if you have him on the spy with his speed and versatility. And he's just excellent in pursuit. He understands angles. He knows how to bring a defender down. Some of the negatives is the main one that I mentioned is he a tweener? Is he a linebacker? Is he an edge? Is that good? Or can he just not play any of them well? I tend to go on the side where I believe he can play both, but that is a major concern. And the flash are there. He still needs to work on his consistently separated from the offensive line because right now it's just inconsistent. But I mean, what else can you expect from a player who has only played edge for 1 year, handful of times? People were criticizing his pro day on-field drills when compared to Ruben Bain. Well, one played the position for his entire life. Arvo Reese just moved there, so I'm not going to put too much stock into that. I still think he's a high potential player who the Saints would love to have. Catch on some of the others. Jermod McCoy went at pick 9 to the Chiefs. Not surprised there. Some people have Mansour Delane as their quarterback 1. I do not. I actually have Keith Abney, but Jermod McCoy is my cornerback 2. You saw with his testing, 4.38, I believe 40-yard dash. He was absolutely flying. His main concern was he's coming back from injury. How does he fare? Is he going to be healthy? Will he have that full athleticism after missing the entire 2025 season? But he answered everything with flying colors. He looked agile on his pro day. He looked athletic on his pro day. It was everything you could have wanted to see. So Jermod McCoy going pick 9 to the Chiefs. I'll run back through all of them again. First overall to the Raiders, Fernando Mendoza. Second overall, David Bailey. Third overall, the Giants traded up to select Sonny Styles. Fourth overall, Jeremiah Love. Fifth overall, Ruben Bain Jr. Sixth overall, Carnell Tate. Seventh, Caleb Downs. Eighth overall to the Saints, Arvo Reese, the linebacker/edge out of Ohio State. Ninth overall, Jermod McCoy. And 10th overall, the Bengals finally address defense early, and they go with Mansour Delane, the cornerback out of LSU. So if you're in the chat, I would love to hear your thoughts on the picks, some questions you may have, any prospects. I'm open for whatever. If you have a prospect about that hasn't been drafted yet or anything like that, feel free to ask me. I'll gladly answer. But as we're kind of waiting, we have this first one's been going by pretty fast. And the jarring thing to me is that there are still no tackles off the board. You would never think in a million years that we'd go this far and not have an offensive tackle get selected. So it's very interesting that Francis Mauigoa, who I personally have graded as a top 3 player in the class, just trailing Sonny Styles and Jeremiah Love. So Mauigoa is still on the board. I think his main question is he a tackler or is he a guard? He doesn't have outstanding measurements. His arms are a little bit short. I'm on the side where I think he should fail as a tackle before going into guard. He was heavily in contention for the Saints. For me, I just ended up going elsewhere. But Mauigoa, he's strong, ironclad hands, got good movement skills. It's everything you could want out of a tackle. And if he does fail at tackle, he's going to be a franchise guard. I mean, he is so strong in the lower half. He's got excellent anchoring technique. He's a mauler in the run game. It's everything you could have wanted. Now, the Dolphins are on the clock. We're seeing what they'll do. Right now, he's looking for possible trade downs, but I think shout out Bobby for Bobby Finstock. I think he's really hoping for a cornerback. The Dolphins cornerback room is, to put it nicely, it's pitiful. They really don't have any long-term options there. But the top two players are kind of off the board. So I'd be if he does trade down, yeah, I'd be interested to see who's going to trade up. Probably for a tackle, Francis Mario. I could see the Browns or someone on the lines of that trying to trade up. Maybe the Cowboys, someone like that who really needs a franchise tackle. But if not, I think they're going to be content going with a wide receiver. It's just which one. Tate's already off the board, but Jordan Tyson is one I have my eye on. He had a private workout today at Arizona State's facility, and he looked good from what I've heard. That's exactly what he needed to do. Yeah, he has long-term injury issues, broken collarbone, torn ACL, MCL, PCL in 2023, collarbone was in 2024. This year had nagging hamstring issues. But this is a tough guy who wants to play. When he's on the field, he is just absolutely he's so well-rounded. He's got excellent speed, he's nuanced, he knows how to create separation, he understands how to stem a defender. He's virtually a complete prospect and one that anyone would want on their team. So that is just a very, very big and very, very good selection for whatever sorry, that would be a good selection for whoever goes up. Trying to see. Right now, Dolphins are still on the clock. I don't know how much offers they're getting to trade down right now, but we'll roll out the Saints, talk about the Saints defense some more after selecting Arvil Reese. So yeah, there's still areas you need to address. But I think the rest of the draft, obviously, I will be doing the rest of the draft. Caleb Yacarino will be on. Nick Jennings will be on. Kyle Besson will be on. All of us at the Dome discussions will be on. We'll discuss this. We'll give you our thoughts in the coming days. But if the Saints do get Arvil Reese, it is going to be extremely interesting to see where they go next in the draft. If they go and select a lot of linebackers, that's a pretty good indication that they view him as an edge. While conversely, if they go after this, it's like a Gabe Akis, someone like that a little bit later around, they probably see him as a linebacker. So that after this will be very telling. But wherever you have him at, it's going to be a very good piece because he's either rushing the passer with Chase Young. Shout out Ohio State. You got your Ohio State Buckeyes on both sides. And I mean, that's really always a pretty good answer. When in doubt, Ohio State it out and pick Ohio State. And as a linebacker, you lost to Mario Davis, absolutely crushing. And I don't know if he's ready to be that full green dot signal caller, but he can definitely develop into that role. And he'd form a very interesting tandem with Danny Stutzman. So right now, we're kind of waiting. Jennings might hop on in a little bit. We'll see around that. Trying to see if the Dolphins pick is in, and it is in. The Dolphins at 11 go Francis Mauigoa, the tackle out of Miami. There he goes. Right after at 12, the Cowboys. Who cares about needs when you can get Kenyon Sadiq and firepower, put some more firepower in the offense. So first we'll talk about then Mekhi Lemon going to the Rams. So a lot of picks going back to back to back. It's going to be interesting right now. So we'll recap that quick. Bobby Finstock for the Miami Dolphins going Francis Mauigoa. I've talked about him. He fell. This is a virtually unheard of fall. Really, no one had him going this far. But the Dolphins, they need everything, if we're being honest. Patrick Paul hasn't been bad at tackle for them, but they still need to address it. So they find their franchise tackle. They try to protect Malik Willis, and they will go with Mauigoa. Then the Cowboys getting Kenyon Sadiq. They had Jake Ferguson. Why not just give you another weapon? I mean, that's what the Cowboys are known for. Jerry Jones wants to sell his tickets. Yeah, you have other needs that are probably greater. But if you don't have to reach on them, why reach if you can have a good player like Kenyon Sadiq and, yeah, pick best player available? And that was what it was in their minds. And Mekhi Lemon at the Rams, this isn't my favorite fit in the draft. I think him and Puka are too similar, and I just don't love the fit there. But, I mean, Stafford's getting flourish with weapons, and that's never a bad option. Vega Ione going to the Ravens at 14. That's another one of the selections where Yeah, I mean it's not gonna break any records. It's not going to be flashy, but it's gonna be a very, 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 very good selection and one that will be impactful for the next foreseeable future. Daniel Falele, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm not a Ravens reporter, but he was awful in 2025. There's no way around it. You have to protect Lamar Jackson. You have to get that running game going. You have to let the offense go, and they do that with the selection of Vega Ione. Ione, one of the top players in the class. He's a spectacular guard. He's good against the run, good against the pass, well-rounded. He's one of the highest floor players. It's hard to see a world where he fails. So it's good to see it's good to see whatever they're called. They're blinking the Ravens to add him right there. Trying to see if we can get a guest on here. Yeah, so we'll go for a couple more picks, see if Nick is going to join in a little bit, and we'll kind of debrief with him. Could have a little bit longer, but yeah. So if you're new, Fernando Mendoza, first overall, David Bailey, Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love, Ruben Bain, Carnell Tate, Caleb Downs, Saints select Arvil Reese, Jermon McCoy, Mansour Delane, Francis Malioa, Kenyon Sadiq, Makai Lemon, Vega Ione, and now the rival Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock. Trying to see if I can get this in a better way right now. We're still working through this. In the coming days, it'll be a lot smoother. It'll be a lot more established. So we'll get it then. But where was it? Yeah, we're kind of looking right now. I'm not getting much news on trades or anything like that. Kind of hard to see. So yeah. And once again, this is a 32 podcast mock. So it's actual people making the mocks, not just the computer. Yeah, so right now we're waiting on some more info. So Ohio State. We have a lot of unsurprisingly, so we have 3 Ohio State players or 4 Ohio State players within the top 8 overall picks, including back to back to back. That just shows how good their program is. You had Sonny Styles go 3rd overall, and then at 6 you had Cardinal Tate, then Caleb Downs, then Arvil Reese. So they are running the top 10, and they have just been a dominant force for the last couple of years, and they have shown no indication of stopping. So we're gonna see right now. Right now, I'm not thinking of any trade ups. It's just not worth it for the value I see the Saints right now. I don't know. I'm a big Denzel Boston believer, and I wouldn't mind doing that. A lot of Saints fans would argue with me, but I'm about as high on Denzel Boston as anyone you've seen. So that is one that I definitely would think of um, trading up in the back end of the draft for. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm trying to see who's up right now. Get the spreadsheet pulled up. It's the Buccaneers still. They have a couple more minutes on the clock, I believe. This is if I'm the Buccaneers, you have a very tough choice. I love this spot for a wide receiver. I don't think they're going to be scared. Mike Evans just left. Chris Godwin's inconsistent because he just can't see on the field. I think Denzel Boston would be the pick I would go with here. I might be one of the only people who would do that pick, but I think it would be a very elevate their offense quite a lot. So yeah, I'm trying to see what's happening. Okay, yeah, we are still 34 minutes in. We'll try to come on some of the Buccaneers. Icewater Olson, give him a follow. He's a great person. He's on the clock currently right now. Yeah, these picks are flying in right now. We've been live for about 34 minutes right now, and we are at number pick number. I'm trying to get up the sheet. Sorry, pick number 15 is where we are currently at. I'm gonna text Nick quick, see if he'll be able to. Okay, so we'll see if Nick will be able to make it soon. But Yeah, I believe the Buccaneers are filling in their selection right now. Computer's being slow. So we'll see if he joins quick. Still waiting on the Buccaneers. It's gonna be the Buccaneers are in a very interesting spot because you don't exactly know what they're gonna do. They have quite a lot of needs that they need to be filled, but they don't have anyone that's a dire need that they must address. So if you're looking at best player available right now, you have the Utah tackles. I don't know if they're gonna be everyone's, but Utah tackle. I don't think Nick will be able to join us. But you got the Utah tackles. Denzel Boston, Monroe Freeling is still on the board. He's one that I could see go pretty soon. You've got a lot of the defensive tackles. You still have a pretty good group of people, including Jordan Tyson, who is one of my best players available. So we'll see what they do here. And an absolute shocker, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go and select edge rusher Cassius Howell. Now, if you're the Saints, there's no denying his pass rush upside. He is explosive. He is dynamic. He has everything that you could want with that. But it's yeah, I mean, his arm length. He's got very, very, very little arm length. It's just like he'd be the smallest arm length drafted in the first round since like the 1980s, if not sooner. So the Buccaneers are going them. He's one that you can kind of bully in that running game. So kind of a shocker there. But I think I'm going to end the live stream right here for the Saints. I don't foresee us doing any really big move right now because I just don't know for the Saints roster right now, the biggest thing is getting value, getting players who will impact the game for the years to come. And they need as many picks as possible. So it'd be kind of irrational to go up and trade a lot of our future assets to go up and get out. As much as Jordan Tyson falling would be nice, as much as getting a Denzel Boston later would be very nice, I just don't think it's worth giving up the future value. We'll see. Maybe at the end of the end of the first round, we could do something, but I just don't know if it will quite be there. Sorry if you hear some moaning sounds outside. Yeah, sorry about doing that. So it's pretty loud right now, but yeah, one second. I'm trying to look up something. So I think we're gonna call it there. We will be back live tomorrow for rounds 2 and 3, day 2 and 3 of the Saints War Room for the Epic Mock. Stay track. We'll have live updates. We'll do it all that. Follow my Twitter at Jerome Collings. I'll be posting stuff there. And yeah, we'll see ya.